Get your copy of The Church Furrow by acclaimed author Stephanie Seaton. This compelling story follows a young woman's journey of redemption through faith and community after straying from the path of righteousness. Rediscover her purpose and meaning in life. Available now on popular online book sites. Don't miss out on The Church Furrow, a transformative tale resonating with the power of faith and self-discovery.
Thank you for tuning in. A live stream new episode of the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show will be starting soon. With your host, minister, and author Stephanie M. Seaton.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show. I just want to thank you all for tuning in. As usual, you know it's going to be an amazing episode tonight. I am so happy to be having an amazing guest tonight. This is Dr. Hill. Welcome to the stage, Dr. Hill. How are you?
I am blessed. Thank you so very much for having me. How are you?
I am doing good. I'm so happy to have you here tonight. My son is a part of his martial arts school, and he talks about it 24/7. And so I had the opportunity to talk to Dr. Hill last week, I believe. And so I was like, listen, I would love for you to be on the platform, and he accepted. So happy to have him here. We're going to find out a lot about the martial arts school. Summer programs, after school programs. It's an amazing opportunity for people, especially like me, myself, being a single mom, strong discipline and partnership, you know, not to say that you have to have kids that are like doing crazy things, but just that accountability factor and just knowing that the teachers there are partnering with you and helping with your children. And so I love that. About the martial arts school. So that's one of the things. Miss O'Keefe, which is the manager, she is amazing, and she's always texting me. And my son seems to leave his glasses and with her all the time, Dr. Hill. So as they recently got glasses and can't seem to keep the glasses.
That's right.
So listen, let's jump in there tonight. We will have several people. I see there's already people watching. And so those of you that are watching, feel free to comment. We will definitely run your comments across the screen. If you have any questions, feel free to ask those questions. we will definitely try our best to answer those questions. We are streaming tonight on Facebook as well as on the YouTube channel. And we've got our first comment of the night, Dr. Hill. Okay, so let's see. Miss Casey Lane O'Keefe is present. She says, hello. Hello, hello.
Yeah. She better be stretching and working out her form, getting ready for that next test.
All right. So listen, I have this universal question that I ask everyone when they come onto the show, Dr. Hill. And that question is, who do you want us to know that you are? So the first question is, who is Dr. Hill?
Wow. That's impactful. And I'll just say I buried my father Monday, and definitely the lessons and reflecting. As they say, funerals and burials are for the living. I would say I'm first and foremost a child of God. I believe in my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And I try not only just to talk about that, but display that through my actions and through my love. As my father's always said, love is a verb. It is an action word. And so therefore, I try to impose that upon my students. You'll probably notice you've been in the school and you see me sometimes. What do? I hug kids and tell them I love them. Sometimes some kids, after a tough day, I want them to know that I can be that port in the storm, if you will. I am a son to a father who has just passed, but also to a beautiful mother who has loved us and stood by my father and known him since she was 3, and they've been married for I think almost 63 years. So what an amazing story that they have, and they will continue to have. I'm a brother. I am a husband and a father. As I like to call it, I have a biological son and a bonus son, but I love him just as if he's mine. Lord knows I get on to him enough. I know he's like, Lord, let me find some peace. This brother doesn't quit. But I'm also a martial arts instructor that truly believes in the traditional values of martial artists. I've played college sports. I played it in high school. Played with some of the guys that went on to play at the top levels professionally. But the one thing that remains the same is the discipline and the love and finding a need to get up. So for who I am, a child of God, a mother, I'm a brother, a son, husband, and a motivator. I believe I'm a motivator, and I'm a port in the storm for so many people that need it. And whether it's just an ear to listen to give advice. And look, if I don't know the answer, I don't mind going to ask people who might know the answer. And I think that's important for children, especially to see. They seem to think that mom and dad have all the answers. Well, we don't, because we go to our grandparents, we go to our parents and talk to them because they've been through it. And so, that's who I am, an educator and a doer of the word as much as I can be.
Amazing. I've even asked myself that, and a lot of people, when they really have to think about that, it really does ground you to really think about who you are, the things you've accomplished. And again, I knew that, this past week you buried your father, and I'm so gracious and thank you for still keeping the appointment to do the show. That says a lot. So I thank you for that. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, and you talked about the martial arts and the discipline. So you have a military background, okay? Were you into martial arts before the military, or did this start afterward? How did those intertwine?
Oh man, I was an angry kid for whatever reason. I don't know. At least my father tells me I was angry. He's like, I'm putting your butt in martial arts. So as a kid, I lived in Cuba. I was blessed enough to live in Guantanamo Bay, also known as Gitmo. And you see a lot of kids from different parts of the world, and sometimes we get along. Sometimes we don't get along because of the color of our skin, and other times I'm from the United States and you're not. So a lot of times, as children, we allow our anger or perceived slights to get the best of us. You want to go? Yeah, I want to go, and then we try to solve it with fisticuffs, and that's not the way any fool can fight. But it takes a true intellectual and a man or an adult to be able to walk away and navigate a difficult path. So that's what my father did. He said, look, man, you're too angry. I can't have you fighting. I'm an
Yeah.
officer on base, a position of prominence, and here you are acting like a knucklehead. So you're gonna do martial
Yeah.
arts or something. I'm gonna get tired of spanking that behind. So
Yeah.
it was martial arts. It was, and I gravitated to it, and I took to it.
Okay. So what do you love about martial arts?
I would have to say the family-like atmosphere. You know, it's the closest thing that brings me back to being an officer in the military or going through boot camp. To be able to walk with someone along their path or their journey. What I tell a lot of people is martial arts is a way of life. And to
Okay.
be able to witness and experience someone else's struggles and their triumphs. And not that they become your own, but you root for people. You know what I mean? And you're
Yeah.
an author and you get it. You write a story, and everybody wants to be the hero of their own story. Well, you
Right.
get to see the hero right there. You get to walk along as that hero grows into becoming a
Mm-hmm.
hero. And I just think it's amazing when a young person comes to me and says, "Hey, I had this amazing day, or I was able to navigate this, or I was able to do that." And then you got all these other students around them going, "Well, yeah, we knew that. We saw that in you. That's the person we
Yeah.
know you to be. It's your fault you didn't recognize it soon enough, but glad you made it to the party." And so that's what
Right.
I enjoy most is seeing the transformation, being that catalyst to bring those things together to see a person reach their full potential.
I I will say this, and this gives accolades to you. Before, I've only met you a few times, but I've heard people speak very highly of you. And before I actually met you there at the school, several of the instructors and parents were kind of telling me how you had stood in the gap for a lot of kids. And I mean, when we have any type of program, people are nice because some people are nice, but they may have hidden agendas. But what I heard was genuine. And what I've seen from you has been very genuine. And I have seen you get on the level with the kids, and it's real, and I salute you for that because, a lot of people do a lot of things with just crazy intentions. But I just want you to know when you're not present, your staff, they speak very highly of you. And the parents, a lot of the parents, when I was trying to make my decision about whether or not I wanted to join the martial arts school, because I've had some bad experiences.
Mm-hmm.
We've been off and on in martial arts, and I
Mm-hmm.
heard so many good things. And then for me to actually meet you, I was like, okay, he lives up to it. But that says a lot when people speak highly of you and you're not in the room. So I want to say that to anybody
Thank
that's
you.
watching. I heard nothing but good things about Dr. Hill before I even met him, from his fellow, instructors, as well as the parents talking about how, you had done several things, sponsorship, just partnerships, and just standing in the gap. So I strongly encourage you, if you're looking for an after school program, the summer is coming up. If you're looking for a summer program, they have the after school program, which also includes additional karate lessons. And that's what my
Mm-hmm.
son is doing currently now. He gets picked up from school Monday through Friday, but on
That's right.
Mondays and Wednesdays, he has the additional karate program. And it's been a blessing to us. And it's usually till 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And then the class starts from 6 to 7. And then you also have adult classes, right, Dr. Hill?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct. We do adult classes and then we'll do specialized training on the weekends. As you know, I'm a professor at Lee College, not a professor, but an associate vice president down in Lee College. And so usually
Okay.
I'm back Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we get it in. Anytime I'm around, we definitely get it in. And so we just look at that way of bonding with each other to create
Now,
that family.
can you give us a little bit more information about the adult classes that you offer? What is the schedule for that, for the adult classes?
Now, I'm going to be honest with you because we have 3 locations.
Okay.
So we have 3 locations. We have locations here in Pittsburgh, Texas, where I am now. We also have locations in Well Pass, Alaska, and where I teach remotely
Alaska?
online. Yeah, we are in Alaska. So if anybody wants to come to Alaska,
Wow.
let me know because we are looking to do a student exchange program. Parents want
Okay.
me sending the
Okay.
kids up there and like, you know what? I got so much peace. I'm gonna leave this behind right up there. And then we also have our classes. So Miss O'Keefe is better suited to answer that. But let me say this: if your child is in martial arts, parents train for free. Okay, and
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah, Yep. So I'm looking to see you on the floor. So you see where I'm going with that? So parents train for free. And the reason why I started that, and a lot of martial arts schools maybe don't do that, I don't know, but for me, it's biblical. The family that prays together stays together. And so it's not often what we say, but what we do with our children that they will in turn do with their children. Many people, if you watch your kid play baseball or football, you would turn them over to someone else, right? You'd be on the sidelines, but you turn them over to somewhere else. Where else can you be on the floor learning the same new things with your child as your child is learning? Where your child might outrank you, right? And then they have to teach you new things. But here again, think about it. As we become older, we will be twice the child and once the adult. So the child is going to need to be able to start learning at an early age. How do I talk to my mother when she gets on my nerves because I'm having to repeat it 15 times? How do I talk to my father when he tells me he put that wrench over there and I know good and well he didn't put it over there. He left it out in the garage. But how do I still interact with him and give them that humility? But the classes are normally in the evening. Most of the adult classes will start. Tiny Tigers goes from 5:30 to 6 to 6:30. I think it's MAT classes. So the adult classes usually start right around 6:30, 6:45, and they'll go to 7:15, 7:30. If you want additional training, parents will do that also. I also come in on the weekends and I do a lot of one-on-one sessions, especially for those adults and those parents that want to go to tournaments. And it takes bonding to a whole nother level. Because you have people from around the United States going, hey, are you going to be in Vegas this weekend? Because we want to see you in Vegas so we can compete. I think it's more about hanging out after the tournament than it is actually doing the tournament. So
a mini vacation.
Hey, exactly. Hey, get it in while you can. Get it in while you can.
So tell me a little bit, or tell us a little bit, should I say, about the tournaments, because as a parent, coming in on the weekly programs, I hear a lot of the kids, talking and getting awards about different competitions and tournaments that they've been through. And, they're really excited, and then they get their new belt. So kind of tell us a little bit about what that process entails.
Sure. So the neat thing about Taekwondo is you get it, baseball, football, basketball, softball, soccer, they all have a season, right? Martial arts doesn't have a season. It's a way of life. So it is literally year round. You think about NASCAR. NASCAR has a certain number of races that you win, right? You win those, you're into the big one. And then as soon as the big one's over with, the season starts the following weekend. It's the same way in martial arts. So the state of Texas is a large region. It's called Region 112. We have 5 regional tournaments. In addition to the regional tournaments, those tournaments are in the state of Texas, you earn points, right? And if you earn enough points in these regional tournaments, at the end of the season, we tally them up, and those with the most points is the state champion. Now, you can also get enough points to qualify what we call the district champion. The districts are where we lump several states together. So Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Oklahoma all form a district. So you take the top 10 in each category, in each age grouping from those states, and you pull them together, and we compete. And the person that comes out on the top that day becomes district champion, whether it's in forms, whether it's in point sparring. Now, as old country folks, we say stick fighting, right? Of course, you got pads on, but the martial arts call it combat, but we call it stick fighting. And then you got your weapons forms, you got your creative and extreme. So the extreme is where you've seen a lot of kids. The kids love to watch movies, and you see somebody like Jackie Chan turning a flip and doing a kick. That's extreme. Taking the weapon, flipping it up in the air, punching and catching it, without looking at it. That's extreme. Creative is just like a traditional form, but they get to make up their own form. And then you have traditional form, which follows a set pattern that we all have to know. So those are the various categories. And the beauty about it is that a child gets to compete. And just because you might win one tournament, you might lose the next one. You might win the third one. But because we tally up points, and you can go to other states. So we don't have a tournament in Texas, and there's one going over in New Orleans or Lafayette. Trust me, your boy is there, because I like crawdads. I like all that. Anytime somebody's willing to feed me, you can best assure your boy's going to be there. My wife is like, where are we going? Hey, they feed me. We going to this tournament. Let's go.
Going to the tournament.
That's right.
Yes. Okay. Well, yeah, I know not only the kids, I've also heard some of the adults from the adult class as well. And that's the good thing, that everybody gets that opportunity to take those skills that they're learning, and they get to actually, I've heard them talk about sparring. And I was, the other karate school that we were part of, we didn't actually see anything in action. I'm gonna be honest, we didn't. And so when we began to come to the martial arts school, and I was hearing about sparring, I was like, what is that? Then they kind of started showing, and they were actually getting able to use some of the techniques and moves. And I was really impressed with that, because we've never seen that in the classes we've been to. It's just always just hand motions, and to actually be able to use it and feel confident, especially so if you have a child maybe that's having some bullying going on, or something like that, this would be an amazing opportunity for them to develop self-confidence. Would you say? Do you have a lot of kids that maybe come because of bullying, and then you find that they have this amazing self-confidence now?
Right. And so I would even say we have some of our students that are victims of bullying, because they're like, hey, what's going on? I've always been the nice kid. Everybody likes me. Now somebody doesn't like me. They come to me and like, well, what do I do? I said, you know what to do. Sometimes, and I try to explain to them that oftentimes the bully has issues that you don't see. A child bullying you is a child reaching out, but I don't expect you to be a victim. What we say is that I look at it from my military training, it is war, right? So if you lose the first battle, which is the ability to walk away or not engage in a physical conflict, then it's my job to make sure you win the second battle. Is if they put their hands on you and they won't let you leave, then you need to be able to defend yourself. You notice we do a drill ad nauseum, stay back, I'm safe, leave me alone. And, a lot of people, I said, you keep it simple, something that's going to work in most situations for kids, even with other kids or kids that are much larger than they are, so they can, retreat to a place of safety. We say it in the Marine Corps, is not retreating, it's just fighting in the other direction. So those are the things that we try to instill in our kids, is the fact that, look, this is your greatest weapon. So you need to be able to use this. This right here. Right here, this can get you in trouble. So close this, do more of this, and just smile and nod. If someone says, hey, you know what? They tell me all the time, and I let my kids do it. You know what? You're bald-headed, master. I'm like, yeah, exactly. I got the greatest hair there is. Grass don't play on a growing, grass doesn't grow on the playing field a lot of times. God loves my head. So then they start to be able to understand, you know what? Just because somebody says something, I know my worth. I know my value. I tell them oftentimes, hold on till you get back to the dojo. Hold on till you get home, because mom's going to make it all right. Daddy's going to tell you how proud he is of you. Grandma and grandpa are going to tell you, that's my baby right there. So what we have to understand is that we have to have certain ports in the storm, like ships do, along the way. Countries that are favorable to us. And that is the dojo. That is that favorite teacher. That is that storekeeper down the way 3 or 4 blocks on my way home, who I can go into. Mr. Johnson, I had a rough day. Here, have a drumstick, sit down, tell me about it. That's that port in the storm.
That is amazing. I mean, as you were talking, I was just sitting here visualizing, if we, and I say we meaning adults, parents, teachers, just adults, period, to be able to break it down like that for a child, that what you're going through right now in this moment is temporary. When, once you get past this, by using your brain, by using your thinking, being cool, calm and collected, and once you get out of this situation, it's over. You can get to a safe place, like you said, the dojo, whether it be a teacher, at home with your parents or whatever. But a lot of times, that stinking thinking is what I call it. Stinking thinking.
That's right.
Gets us in trouble. And you're right. Sometimes we say way more than we should, but I think that's a really good tool. And as you were saying that, I was just like, wow, that is powerful, to encourage the kids to use your brain, think more, and speak less. Because if we do that, not only just kids, let me say that, adults too. Okay, adults too. Let me bring it out. Adults too. It would really save us from a lot of situations, don't you think, Dr. Hill?
Oh, definitely. And I tell kids all the time, don't be afraid to unplug from the rest of the world. Why would I be upset if God
Yeah,
gave me a vision? Because it's my vision. He didn't give it to you. He gave you your own vision. So therefore,
yeah,
no, you're not going to understand necessarily the ways in which I move. And by
yeah,
doing that, as adults want our children to unplug from the rest of the world and be present with us,
yeah.
then we too must unplug from the rest of the world and be present with our family. And that's so important. And you got to take the little things. Like, I see people all the time, they want to take a selfie, they want to record everything, they want to post everything. Wait a minute, there's a time for that. Just be in the presence. Feel
Yeah,
my energy, feel your energy. Let's look at each other. See
yeah,
me as I see you. Spend time with each other. Because a lot of
yeah.
times, just that spending time creates that connection. If
Wow.
we do it with animals, see, we do it with animals all the time. You do it with dogs, do it with cats.
Mm,
People
yeah.
love horses, do it with horses, but we won't do it with each other.
Wow.
Because a lot of times, spending time with that person is going to do what? Force us to reflect on ourselves
That's
while we're in
deep.
the presence of somebody else. And that's important.
Wow. Vulnerability.
Mm,
Vulnerability, openness. Wow. That is really, that's powerful. Just visualizing that. And so that goes back around to again what you said about offering free lessons for the parents, because that is a big
mm.
deal. That's a bonding experience. So I think I'm gonna have to think
Yeah.
about that.
Well, here's what I
Yeah.
say. What did
Yeah.
God give you? What is your most prized possession outside of God's love? If you've got children, it's children.
Yeah. My kids.
And
Yeah.
you will invest in anything and everything else. And if you don't invest in them now,
Yeah.
they won't invest in you when they're older.
Yeah.
There's a song, it's not a jazz song, it's like one of those folktale songs. you know he talked about he wanted to be like his old man when he grew up, and his old man was always working, he never spent time with him. But then when the old man became old, he wanted to see his son at least once or twice. Hey dad, I can't see you, I'm busy. The
Oh,
kids are
yeah.
sick, they got the flu, maybe another time. And
Yeah.
so we have to invest, we have to, if we
Yeah.
wish to reap the fruits of that labor.
Yeah. It comes back around. Wow. I mean, sometimes, when you're in conversations, and I do this thing all the time when people are talking, like you talking, I literally like hold on to the words, and it keeps repeating in my head. You've just really said some, and I call them nuggets, but you have really
Mhm.
dropped some very deep, important nuggets. And I hope, that, not only myself, because it's convicted me as well, but I hope, that the people that are watching, as well as myself, that we really, really think about that, because we are sometimes so consumed with these cell phones, these tablets, these televisions, just so much stuff.
Mhm.
But wow, the opportunity to bond and connect and actually show up and be present. We need a lot more of that in our families and in our society.
And I
Um,
think that's the benefit, though, because the way we
yeah.
structure the ATA, which is the organization Songahm Martial Arts Academy is a part of, when you look at what we call our life skills, so we say
Hmm.
communication, right, is the link between the world and me. Honesty is the first step of an abundant life.
Hmm. Hmm.
To tell the truth, to be honest. Discipline, is to obey what is right. And so respect. It's not what you say. We say it all the time in Texas. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. But you can still be disrespectful, right?
Right.
So it's not what you say. It's what you do.
Mm.
Self-esteem or belief is yes, I can. And self-esteem is the joy of being myself. So when
Hmm.
we focus on those life skills, and those life skills are built upon pillars, and we incorporate that into the class,
Hmm.
show me an honest punch. What does an honest punch look like? What are the characteristics of a punch? Well, there's focus, heights
Hmm.
and levels. My hand is closed. Is it to the center? Am I driving through the target? Are my feet rooted in a proper foundation? Well, then we say, okay, that's honesty. Well, were you honest in your efforts to prepare for this test? Were you
Mm.
honest in the efforts of doing this task that your mother asked you to do, or your father said he needed to get done?
Right.
So as we explain to them that every student, every color belt has a role in my martial arts school, so does every person and every child have a role and a job to do in the family. And so by constantly correlating those two, and as they rise in seniority in martial arts, then they start to understand even more their parents' role and their relationship to their parents' role in the household.
Wow, amazing. We've got a comment from Casey Lane O'Keefe. She says, we teach them life skills every week. We teach them to tell themselves they believe in themselves and always say, yes, I can. I love that. That is really good. That is amazing. We are going to take a break here for just a moment. Dr. Hill, we're going to do a little bit of promotional videos, and then we're going to come back here in just a moment. When we come back, we're going to talk about, well, we've already kind of talked about how important it is for children, and we've talked about the parents, but let's kind of talk a little bit about the ages that you would recommend would be good starting point. And so we'll talk about that. If you have any questions or comments, please go ahead and load those up. We're going to watch a couple of promotional videos and we'll come back and continue our interview with Dr. Hill, okay?
All right.
Get your copy of The Church Furrow by acclaimed author Stephanie Seaton. This compelling story follows a young woman's journey of redemption through faith and community after straying from the path of righteousness. Rediscover her purpose and meaning in life. Available now on popular online book sites. Don't miss out on The Church Furrow, a transformative tale resonating with the power of faith and self-discovery.
Who's interested in attending the Desperate for Jesus conference with me? Friday, July 26, 2024, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Saturday, July 27, 2024, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Put your love, put your love glasses on, put your love glasses on. I see you looking like you wanna dance.
All right. Thank you for tuning into the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show. We are having an amazing time tonight talking to Dr. Hill. It's been very enlightening about the different areas of the training for martial arts. It's way more than just on the floor. This is something, the skills that you learn in martial arts, you take it on through life. And he's been dropping a lot of nuggets tonight. And like I said, I've been going there for, well, my son's been going there, so technically I'm going there too. But we've been there for several months now, and we're really enjoying the program. Let me get this comment from Miss O'Keefe. She says, Miss Seaton, with you putting your son in the Martial Arts Academy, how much has he improved with him being with us? Oh my God, so much. He really enjoys it. His confidence level is on fleek, as the young people say. But his confidence level has increased a lot. He was having some issues with an after-school program with bullying, actually. And so being there at the martial arts school has been amazing. He's been talking more. He's coming out of his shell. And that's been a blessing for me with him feeling confident. He's enjoying the friendships, that he's made. And then hearing him just, talk every day about the school. I hadn't heard him, be this excited about something in a while. And then he's enjoying the workouts. He's actually enjoying the workouts and the physical activities. So he's been wanting to go to the gym, Dr. Hill. So
there we go.
He wanted to join Crunch Fitness. And so I told him, well, listen, baby, you are in your whole crunch fitness at the martial arts school.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know,
So,
just have them hold on, because we got a pull-up station. We're going to start bringing in some weights that are kid friendly, and
okay,
you know,
okay,
we'll be using that city park that's right behind us, because they've got some body weight equipment that works
okay.
out really well. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he is excited. So let's talk a little bit about what age you start at the school, and then what age you recommend that we should get kids involved in martial arts.
Either end of the spectrum, as long as they're not in diapers. So I'll take them as young as 2.5 or 3.
Okay,
You know,
okay,
I've changed my diapers. I'm good. I don't need to change nobody else. I will in a pinch. You know, I
right.
babysit. Well, Christina has volunteered us to babysit before, my beautiful bride, but we've done that before. And then to the other end of the spectrum, we work with anyone. I truly believe that this is something that God has put on my heart. And you know, I encourage, if you're going to be with your child and your child is 2.5 or 2 and they want to get on the floor, they need to do it. My son did it, you know,
Yeah,
at that age. Malik did. And man, I tell you, he is a phenomenal athlete, a phenomenal martial arts artist. He doesn't practice anymore, but he got what he needed out of it. You know, and
yeah,
a lot of times, you know, the skills that we take away from this are more than just kicking and punching. Now, for me, I really enjoy the kicking and punching. So hopefully I can do this well into my 80s, if the Lord is willing, and He says the same. But like I said, um, 3 to, there's no age limit, you know, because we have wheelchair forms. We've taught people with no legs. I've taught blind. I've taught the deaf. Um,
wow,
you
okay,
come to me, we will figure it out, because it is
hmm,
a way of life. It
yeah,
truly is. The martial arts, the discipline, the honor, the courage, the self-esteem, the communication, and the way we do that. So yeah, no age is really too young as long as parents are with them, and no age
yeah.
is too old as long as, you know, their care provider is with them.
Okay, very good, very good. Let's talk a little bit about your after school program. What do
Mhm.
parents need to know to get their kids signed up, the expectations of the after school program?
Sure. So if you happen to live there in the area where we are, like near Seaton Street, check with your school to see if they can be dropped off, if they can ride the bus. We have a couple of kids that can do that. They would contact Miss O'Keefe, and we will make sure we make arrangements to have your child picked up. The big thing that they need to understand is this: I want children to make straight A's. I understand that everybody will. So that being said, I need you to do those things that a straight A student would normally do. The teacher is talking. I tell them, close your mouth. They ain't be quiet. Close your mouth. Don't talk with your friends. If you don't talk while I'm talking, they sure shouldn't be talking while the teacher's talking. Do your
Right.
homework. Take notes. Ask questions and read before you go to class. Not 15 minutes before you go to class. Read
Right.
the assignment the night before and talk it over with your parents. The reason why this is so important is because you will see where they start to formulate their ideas, and they keep you in touch with what's going
Right.
on in that classroom. So we do work on reading. We do work on what we call ZPD, or the zone of proximal development. That's an educator's word, where they
Okay.
learn from each other. And what we do with that is they talk about what they're working on in school. Usually in the summer when I'm there, or during spring break, I teach them algebra.
Okay.
Everybody learns algebra. And you would be amazed at the fourth graders and the fifth graders that understand algebra, because they didn't learn math poorly. So they have no
Right.
bad foundation to operate from. So
Right.
it's just a beautiful thing when we see other kids encouraging each other. Get your
Mhm.
homework out. You know, Master Hill is, hey, then as they get older, it's get your homework out. We're martial arts. We should be making straight A's. We should be the leaders.
Yeah.
And those are the same kids who wind up taking over those leadership roles and those opportunities that we provide for them, such as camp, in the after school program, when they have some downtime. We have certain kids who kind of step up and take charge. And everybody gets that opportunity. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes Miss O'Keefe will say, nope, you're in charge. You take them outside for their 5-minute break. You instruct the calisthenics, the jumping jacks, the push-ups.
Hmm.
And you get to see they have to start using it. And other kids will say, I can't hear you. You got to speak up. If you're going to be in
Yeah.
charge, you got to act like you're in charge. So all of a sudden that confidence comes not just from the staff, but from the other kids because they want them to succeed.
I saw that, and that's developing leadership skills in a in them at a young age. So we have the after school program. Tell us a little bit about the summer camp. What can people look forward to with the summer camp?
Ooh, I'm gonna tell you now, Miss O'Keefe's gonna get mad at him, but the summer camp is hot, it's smoking, and not just because it's hot outside. So we've got it usually from 7:30 in the morning till when martial arts classes are over at night. They don't leave your kid there that long. We love them, and I know you enjoy being away from them, and you want to hear about the day, but they miss you. It's not that they miss you; they get tired of seeing me a lot of times. Like, oh my God, here he comes! He's yelling, he's screaming. These guys doing pull-ups, push-ups. Lord, we tired. Yeah, you're gonna be tired. So our deal is we focus on usually one theme during the week. That theme is educational. We'll also apply art to that theme. So let's say if we're working on airplanes, we will usually try to go see our good friend, Mr. Floyd Monroe, who oversees the air traffic controllers at the Tyler Pounds Airport. And so we get to see the Air Museum. We get to see our air traffic controllers do their thing. We also talk about math, and we talk about reading books, and we talk about how planes are maintained and what goes into becoming an air traffic controller. Then they get to meet one. So that spans the whole week. Another venue or another week, we're going to talk about Alaska. What's the weather like in Alaska? How do we, in turn, we'll Zoom with those kids in Alaska, and they get to see, oh, this is what it's like in the islands. Wasn't aware that Alaska had islands. Wasn't aware that Alaska is one of the largest rainforests in the world. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, so we open up their ears, their ideas, and their mind. You're going to spend a week on this. And not only are you just going to spend a week talking about it, you're going to read about it, you're going to experience, you're going to do some studies, some actual academic studies, and then you're going to do some art projects that are around that theme. So, so that entire week you're going to gain from it. Now, parents, what we tell them to do is pick your weeks. But you better pick your weeks fast because they fill up fast. The kids who are with us in the after school program, they're going to have first right on what weeks they want. And so some parents put them in for the entire summer. Some parents pick and choose. They do 3 weeks here. They're off a week, then another 3 weeks, and then they're off that week right before school. And please remember that second week of school or that first week of school, second week in September, this week is going to be on the 13th, 14th, and 15th. We lease out Camp Shiloh up here in Pittsburgh, Texas. And we will usually have about 200 people from all over, from Louisiana, Oklahoma, Arkansas. They will come. Parents are welcome to come. Bring an RV if you got it. And we're going to do nothing but martial arts that entire weekend. But, you know, your boy likes to eat. So we have cookouts, fish fry. We're on the lake. So we got kayaks, canoes, water, obstacle courses. So that's how we cap off the summer. With other kids from other martial arts schools from across the state. And they get to say, you know what? We're all learning the same thing. We all have the same complaints. My mother wants me to put the toilet seat down. She wants me to clean my room. I don't know why. I don't know why when she says do the dishes, she just doesn't say sweep my floor in the kitchen, you know, white glove it in the refrigerator. She just says do the dishes. I do the dishes and leave, and she's acting crazy. So they get to understand that they're not in this fight alone. And then those kids look for each other at tournaments throughout the year. And that's it's just a beautiful thing.
Making connections and building friendships.
And that's what investment are you going to make?
And that's one of the things you all say in the beginning of class, something about making friendships, right? So that's amazing.
Courtesy for fellow students, loyalty for my instructors, and respect for my juniors and seniors, sir.
Yes. Miss O'Keefe said summer camp is full of education, fun times, and swimming. I know she was talking about swimming the other day, and Isaiah's eyes lit up. He loves to swim. Yeah, I can't swim, but
you in East Texas, we got to get you there. You can't walk around with floaties around your armpits all your life. So we got to get you in there.
Listen, I can't swim, but both of my sons can swim. So I did make sure they can swim.
That's it.
I did make sure they can swim. Listen, this has been an amazing time talking with you tonight, Dr. Hill. Thank you so much for allowing me to interview you on my platform. We're going to definitely have to partner again and get some of the kids on and some of the adults that have been to the different tournaments and kind of just let them share that experience, you know, because that's a big deal. And we definitely want to shed light on accomplishments. You know, too often we hear about negative things. So we definitely want to spotlight some of the accomplishments and things that the kids are doing throughout the year at the competitions or whatever we're doing at the martial arts school. So I would love for you to come back with some of the kids, and we could definitely do that. What are your closing remarks to anybody who just is watching? What would be your closing remarks on just the Martial Arts Academy period? What will be your closing remarks?
Let me do this for all the martial artists out there and parents. Find an instructor that believes passionately in what you believe. You know, you're usually not taking your child to a martial arts facility to teach them something that you yourself haven't taught your child. What you're doing is you're taking them there so they can have the experiences to sharpen those skills and to reinforce what you're teaching in the home. So with that being said, I would say get your child in a martial arts program. I think probably 99.5% of the martial arts schools in Tyler are phenomenal. I don't care whether it's jiu-jitsu, judo, kali, taekwondo, karate, MMA even. Some of your trainers in MMA are phenomenal. They have a traditional background. Understand there's a sport aspect to martial arts, and many people will train for that sports aspect to keep them healthy, to keep them in shape, to keep their weight in check. But also there is a mental and a life skills aspect to martial arts. And if that is in alignment with their character and their actions, then I say you have found a phenomenal place. You know, even the Kung Fu facility, Tyler Kung Fu Fitness, they've been around for years. Amazing facility, amazing instructors. And so all I'm saying is there is something for everyone. We often refer people out to other schools if we don't think we're a great fit, or we get the kids and the parents go over there and train MMA or Kung Fu. There's nothing wrong with that. We are benefited and blessed simply by the fact that we also have an occupational therapist on hand. My wife, Christina Hill, is also a 4th degree black belt that does pain-free, you know, through movement therapy, you can become pain-free. So now they're starting to see the entire spectrum of not just martial arts, but also the healing properties by repetitive movement, you know, done properly.
Yes, and I've had the pleasure of meeting your wife on several occasions with her being the instructor at the school. She has a upcoming, I saw on the billboard, she has some type of upcoming clinic or training.
Women's conference, that women's conference is this Saturday. I believe it's at 1 p.m. Only reason why I know that because I think I'm holding the pads for the self-defense thing. It's kind of nice to find out at the last minute. I thought, you know, I'm showing up, you know, support. Hey, right, like you holding the pads. What? Wait a minute now. Hold on now. Let me get another student to hold the pads. I don't want you thinking.
So it's this Saturday.
Yes, ma'am. At what is it called? I can actually I think it's called Plier or I am so sorry.
We can find out. I knew I saw it on the board. The Plier building. Okay. I saw it on the building. I think it's Miss Casey O'Keefe said the Plier building. So I wanted to be able to market that as well because I saw that she was doing something coming up here. So all right. We got you, Miss Hill. We got you. So you've got your event coming up. So we are promoting that as well. All right. And it is from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock at the Plier building. Okay. So if you are in the area, that will be this weekend. Go out and check out that self-defense class. Okay. Again, thank you so much for being here, Dr. Hill. It's been amazing having the opportunity to talk to you. I'm going to challenge myself to get in on those Mondays and Wednesdays. I know Isaiah.
Yes, ma'am. Let's go. Let's go.
So, I'm gonna get with it. I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna step out the box. Lord, pray for me.
You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
All right, Master Hill, if you will just hold here for just a moment. Listen, thank you so much for tuning in to another amazing episode of the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show. We've got one last comment, and Miss Casey O'Keefe said, "Let's go." Hey, Miss O'Keefe, you better start praying now. But thank you so much for tuning in tonight to the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show. As always, thank you so much, really, for tuning in and spread the word. Martial arts, the Songahm Martial Arts on Seaton Drive here in Tyler, Texas. They also have a location in Pittsburgh as well as in Alaska.
Well past Alaska. That's it.
Well, yeah, in Alaska as well. So listen, we always pray. Yes, ma'am, Miss O'Keefe. Yes, ma'am. So listen, you have the opportunity to Google. Do you have a Facebook page as well? How can they get in touch with you?
Sure, yes, ma'am. The easiest way to do it is go to our website, which is www.atasma.com. So atasma, as a lot of people like to say, I didn't even know that was a word, but atasma, atasma.com. And then at the very bottom, we've got our Facebook links down there as well.
Okay, very good. So those are the points of contact to find out about getting your kids registered for the summer program that's coming up. As well as if you're looking for a good after school program for the next upcoming school year, please.
And we work with churches. So if churches are looking at a summer camp and they want to kind of contract that out and roll that out to us, we can handle, you know, and we'll definitely work something out with them to make it feasible for the church. Okay, very good. And that's really, I'm going to tell you, that is another reason why I really love the martial arts school, because it has Christian principles. And I think that is the basis. When you have Christian principles as the foundation, I mean, that right there is a lot. And so I highly recommend, if you're looking for somewhere for your children to go, that it's interactive. You know, you can partner with the instructors, let them know what's going on with your child. They do special things that are even off the charts just to help you and your child's relationship. Listen, you want people to be invested in you and your children. You know, it's not just about, you know, I'm going and I'm paying these people my money, but it's way bigger than that. I'm paying these people my money, but they are investing their hearts into me and my child. And I feel it, you know. And so I strongly recommend the martial arts school, Seaton Drive. He's giving you the contact for the Facebook page, as well as the links for online. Check them out. Summer program, after school program, Pittsburgh, Texas, Tyler, Texas, and Alaska. Okay. Again, hold for just a moment. We're going to log out now. Stay tuned for our next episode, which will be on next Tuesday and Thursday. We have a new schedule now of Tuesdays and Thursdays. So make sure that you stay tuned on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We will be running our different interviews. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
If you would like to be a guest on the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show, email Stephanie at stephaniemseatontheauthor@gmail.com.